So you don't have to be a writer and don't even need to possess any special skills to be able to make money, and oftentimes passively, on one of the biggest websites in the world, Amazon. In fact, I'm even going to show you some free tools that you can easily use to generate templates for you to make money with. Before we begin though, do me a very quick favor by just very gently smashing the like button because it really does help out me and my channel, and also consider subscribing for more videos about making money online and digital entrepreneurship just like this one. Plus, I also have an investing channel that you can check out as well. And with that, let's get started with the video. Alright, so without further ado, the main website we're going to be making money on is going to be Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing, abbreviated Amazon KDP. And some of you might be familiar with this platform as one where you would essentially upload and publish books such as ebooks, and you can actually just make money because your books will be listed on their Amazon marketplace, which is obviously probably the largest marketplace for any sort of books out there.
Of course!
And you can obviously go the traditional route of writing and authoring your very own books and to just become an author yourself to make money on Amazon Kindle Publishing, but the method we're going to be talking about today is actually a lot simpler and perhaps accessible even for beginners because there's actually no real writing involved.
Nice.
And another thing is that we're actually going to be doing paperback books as opposed to ebooks, and so paper books actually involve Amazon printing and essentially fulfilling for you whatever you upload onto their platform, right? So it's a bit similar to print on demand if you're familiar with that, where you would upload your designs or your content and then the website or the service would actually produce and actually print out and then ship out the items for you. And the major difference between creating a paperback book versus an ebook is that whereas an ebook doesn't really care about formatting as much because you don't have to worry about your book's dimensions and thickness and things like that, and even the material used. Whereas with paperback books, you actually have to worry about those things, including how thick, for example, you want the spine, which is the middle part here, to be. So all these specifications, however, I'm actually going to show you some easy ways to do using free tools. And if everything just now sounded a bit complicated, don't you worry, because I'm actually going to run through everything slowly and step by step for you to follow along. But first of all, let's actually go over to Amazon KDP to create an account, or actually if you have an existing Amazon account, you can just sign in. And unlike Merch by Amazon and some other programs, there is actually no requirement to my knowledge, so anybody can sign up for this and for free. And once you've signed in, your dashboard is going to look something like this, where you can actually start uploading your books right away. And namely, as you can see here, it says you can upload book content as well as book cover, along with your description, keywords, and stuff like that. But the main things we're going to be creating right now is going to be the first two, okay? So starting with the book cover, actually, I'm going to head over to some other free platforms to make this very easy for you.
It'll be easy as 1, 2...
And by the way, before I forget, the reason that you don't have to actually be a writer or even write anything to be able to create and sell these books on Amazon is that they actually allow for selling things like planners, notebooks, and all sorts of blank or contentless books. And so all you really have to do is to create the front and back covers for the book plus the spine, as well as fill up the interior of the book with either blank pages or lined pages or whatever kind of template you have to fill in. So with that, let's now first get into some of the free tools we can use to easily generate our book cover. And the first website I want to show you for that is called bookowl.com. And on this page, and I'll also link it down below, but you want to navigate to the free resources tab and then scroll all the way down to the KDP cover template generator, which means you don't have to worry about any of this stuff up here. Alright, so I'm just going to come down here to this cover generator. And to just quickly explain this template for you, if you look at the top right here, you'll see these orange lines, right? What you basically want to do after you use this template for your design is you want to just only fill up the white portions with your whatever images, royalty-free images, book title, and so on and so forth. And then the orange parts you don't want to actually design on. You want to leave that space for Amazon to actually be able to print your ebook properly. And thus this tool actually makes it really easy for us to comply to Amazon's requirements. And then down here, when you're generating the actual template, you want to first specify the width, height, and page count of your book. And the usual one that I like to do is 6 inches by 9 inches. This is a very standard format, or you can do different, dimensions if you want. But usually you can just type in 6, 9, and then for your page count, you can just specify however large or thick rather you want your book to be. 100 pages is fine. Usually it sells well. well, or 120 pages is pretty decent. You want to sort of imagine how many pages people would want in like a notebook, for example, right? And the reason that you specify the page count here is that it actually determines the thickness of the spine of the book, which is the middle part here. And so the more pages it has, obviously the thicker the book must be, and thus the larger the dimensions this cover will actually have to be, right, in terms of the spine in the middle here. Alright, and with everything filled out up here, you can just head to the bottom to write in your email address and then just check this box and then select this button here to have them email this very template to you. And with your template downloaded, let's now get to designing the actual book cover. And for this, you can just simply use the free canva.com, where you can just click on the create a design on the top right. Let me actually move my screen. There it is. Click on create a design, and instead of choosing any of these existing templates and dimensions, you actually want to select start with an image. Okay, and with this you can actually select that very image you downloaded to then upload it right onto Canva, and then as you can see here, you can just use the very dimensions that the image also has, right? So you don't have to actually adjust anything manually. Alright, and with your template loaded into Canva right here, and by the way, it also has instructions right here, which is quite nice. But essentially what you want to do is to fill out the entire page with your design, your background, including the red areas and even the white areas. But just note that the red parts should not have any sort of text or important elements on it, okay? Because that'll actually become sort of the edges of the cover. For example, if you look at a book, there's actually going to be some sort of cornering of the book, so that is where the book cover sort of folds over potentially. So you definitely don't want to have any sort of text on there, right? And then the same goes for the yellow box here, where they actually have to print on their barcode for the book. And so you can have your background, and you should have your background covering the entire slate here, including all the red and yellow areas. But what will happen is they'll just cut out this yellow area and then possibly some of the red parts to just do certain elements that you don't want to have your important, text, title, authors and things like that on those spaces. And for just a quick little trick that I like to do is over on elements and then shapes, I like to drag in a small rectangle here let me delete this, to cover up the barcode area, just so I can see where it is when I overlay the entire thing with my background, because it's going to be covering everything, right? So by having this extra rectangle here, I can actually tell where it is, so that I make sure not to include any sort of text or images or important elements on this zone here.
A few moments later.
And by the way, if you're using any Canva assets, because Amazon can be a bit more strict, you want to definitely stick to the free text and not even the free images, because there could be some copyright issues here and there, you never know. But with the text, especially if it's free, you're usually safe. And to finish up my design, I can very simply just drag my title over here to the right and just make sure that it's fairly centered over on the right side here. And by the way, if you go to File, you can actually turn on the rulers and margins to make it a bit easier for you to see where you're positioning everything. So here, I'm just gonna put this and make it a little bit larger, something like that. And because it's going to be a notebook, I don't actually have to have any sort of title or anything like that, or publisher or anything like that, right? I can just have my title, and then for my background, first of all I want to make sure it's underneath everything, so I want to go to position and then send it to the back, so then I can actually see this rectangle here as well, and then just make sure that my background covers the entire thing, because you're actually going to be having Amazon print these for your customers. So this is the format that you want, and then you can just hit download. And then the great thing about Canva is that they save all of your designs on their in your account, so that whenever you want to create a new one or a similar one, you can simply just select copy and then just make a new one, and then you can just even keep some of the same text and then just replace the background and just rinse and repeat and create a whole bunch of different templates this way to have a bulk number of notebooks or whatever types of books you want to upload onto KDP to sell.
Why make trillions when we could make billions?
And for just a couple of things before we actually download this, first of all, I do want to delete this rectangle here because I don't want it on my actual book cover. So there you go. And then the text, I actually added some effects to make it have like a shadow effect. So with that, I can just go to effects and then click on shadow, and then you can actually control your settings for it. I like to do blur right here. And then as for the image itself, I actually got it from pixabay.com, which is a website that provides royalty-free images, as opposed to those from Canva, which may or may not, but I don't want to risk it, give me some copyright issues if I upload this onto Amazon. So with that, I can just go to download, hit let's see, PDF print, and then just don't check this and then hit download. Alright, and with that, our cover is now finished, as you can see. And then the next step is to, if I just go back to Amazon KDP, so we have our book cover already finished. And then the next thing is to actually create content for our book. And in this case, we're going to be doing some kind of notebook. And fortunately for that, there's another free tool that is super easy to use that allows you to essentially generate the interior of your book. And the tool in question is BookBolt's free KDP no content book interiors tool, which is a mouthful, but it's actually very useful. So all you need to do is to click on this link here, and then it'll take you over to, let's see, this page, where as you can see, there are a bunch of different templates for sort of blank, low content type books, such as these ruled lines and things like that, and even monthly to-do list templates, career plans, shopping trackers, and different types of planners and lists and so on and so forth. So you can actually have a lot of different types of books that you can create for Amazon KDP, right? But let's say for now we just want to do our notebook. So I'm just gonna actually select the this second template right here, and then on the top here I want to actually change the dimensions to the ones that I specified. So it's 6x9, and then I'm gonna select bleed. Then for the page count, I can simply just punch in 100 because that's what we specified earlier, and hit download. And with that, the template will have been generated with a spot at the top even for people to write the title or the date. And then if I scroll through, this does indeed have 100 pages, and it's already basically ready for you to upload onto Amazon KDP alongside your cover. Alright, with these two components, the interior as well as the cover, we pretty much have all the components we need to upload a book or a notebook onto Amazon KDP to sell. As you can see here, we just have to have your book content, book cover, which we've already done very easily. And then you just have to specify your description, keywords, and select the categories, so like notebook or Christmas even. And then your ISBN, you just basically have it generated for you, so you're pretty much fine. And since the uploading process is fairly simple, as all you have to really do is to upload your two main files and then type in your title, description, keywords, and things like that, and you'll be able to list your book for sale on Amazon Kindle Publishing after they approve it. After about 24 to 48 hours, it's usually quite fast. You'll be able to have your listings actually on the Amazon website, which is very neat, right? So as you can see here, we already have some notebooks, examples of notebooks that are on here. You can actually check some of these out. People are selling them for $7, even $13. This is a branded one, so let's skip it. From between like $4 to $5 to even $7. So it sort of depends on the type of book that you want to sell, but you can definitely look at and refer to some of the examples already on the website. And speaking of the uploading process, there's actually an easier way to do so, which I'll go through in another video because this one's getting a bit too long. But real quick, if we just go back to BookBolt, which is the tool that we use to create our interior, they actually have a full-fledged software to not only help you upload books and list them more easily and more efficiently, and even list multiple ones. They also have Kindle or Amazon research. If I just scroll up, they also do keyword research and product research to help you target winning products and create similar ones. And then if I just scroll through here, they also have a book designer tool, which is very useful as well as a, as you can see here, they have a puzzle, create unique books with Puzzle Wiz and Interior Wizard Pro, which is, they actually have different types of books other than just notebooks, where you can make even puzzle books, activity books, coloring books, which are actually quite popular, surprisingly, and hundreds more low content interiors, which low content meaning that you're not actually writing anything, right? Similar to notebooks and planners and things like that. They actually have tons of templates for that. And another thing real quick is that their designer actually has a bunch of royalty-free images, which means that you'll not incur any sort of copyright issue when you're uploading onto Amazon. So this tool is actually super useful for if you want to focus hard on Amazon KDP.
You got it, Jobin. Sorry, what?
And just for you guys, my loyal subscribers, I'm actually trying to work out an exclusive discount with BookBolt. In fact, I'm actually in contact with them right now, so there's a very high likelihood that this will happen. And if and when it does, you'll be able to go to the description of this video to find the exclusive discount code. And I will very likely also do a follow-up video where I actually showcase all the capabilities of BookBolt, so stay tuned for that. But with that, that is pretty much all I want to show you for today's video. And be sure to check out the first link in the description box as well for my actual top recommended recommended method for earning passive income that I personally use as well. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Like the video if you liked it or found it helpful, and remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more cutting edge videos about making money online and digital entrepreneurship just like this one. And with that, I will see you in the next video. Peace.